Peace, kings and queens, guys and goddesses. So we're going to have to talk about it clearly because I don't feel as if individuals are quite understanding the gravity of what I mean by I am always going to protect my children. I'm always going to stand by my children. This is not something that I feel as if should be up for debate or a conversation that has to be had continuously. But this is something that I actually experienced, and I am so stressed out or fucking ready, guys. I'm sorry. I'm already my stress levels. Oh my goodness, I can't even. They're pretty fucking high right now, and who this most recent thing. This most recent thing is something that I'm still processing because it was so recent, and I really just need people to understand that I am not someone looking to continue cycles that I have broken away from, and I mean that completely. Nobody's actions will be justified by me, especially not when it comes to how they affect my children. And I don't feel that people are really understanding this, and then are a bit anything but apologetic and accountable when I bring something to them that's not my children's fault, their fault, and how they respond matters. And for this particular video, y'all, it's 2 parts because it's super long. This is not in the moment. This is something that I'm actually like kind of processing that already happened, and I reflected on it because I had to, and I wanted to share this because I feel like I need to, I guess, or I was guided to, or whatever. And this is like a real life example of how processing things look for me. Not really, because this is not in the moment, but it doesn't stop after the situation or whatever. So for this particular video, I'm not going to actually like engage with the camera a lot because I'm going to just read what I've previously written, and yeah, let's get into it. So the other day, my daughter came to me and she told me that someone that she cares for made a comment about her body, saying her stomach was getting fatter. And then she followed up with, I don't like it. Can you help me? Can you help me lose it? And that shit felt like a direct punch to my heart. Let me be clear. In this house, we don't tease. Oh, we do not body shame. We speak life here. And while some may brush a comment like that off, I know the kind of weight that words carry, especially when they're never followed by accountability. And yes, this came from a family member, not mine, but her father's. And this was not the first time that she said something impactful and hurtful to my children. We've had corrected this person before, but now the new boundary is firm, and they're no longer allowed around my children, period. And what hurt even more is her father's concern wasn't for how those words impacted our child. Instead, he defended the person, saying they don't know better and they are trying. But trying without accountability is not growth. And it's just continued harm with a softer tone. I am tired of people trying while my children pay the emotional price. I am tired of being the only one who sees the damage and actually steps up to do something about it. And to make matters worse, the very next day, this person showed up at our home unannounced, completely unaware of the boundary, because Eric failed to address it. So once again, I had to. And what happened? The person took zero accountability and had the audacity to insinuate that my child lied. When I brought up how hurt Nadia was and that an apology was in order, she flat out told me she wasn't apologizing, and she claimed that she didn't say it. Now listen, my child would not and did not make up something so specific about a particular part of her body. And instead of owning that, this woman tried to flip it on me, saying, well, just like you were hurt, I'm hurt. Now I'm hurt. Ma'am, goodbye. Ooh, that experience brought up something in me, memories that I had previously suppressed. I remember the Christmas when I was a child. My aunt had bought me an outfit that I didn't like, and when I said so, she cussed me out. Just flat the fuck out. She cussed me out. Again, I was a child, and I did cry. I was hurt. And I do remember my mom cutting her off for a little while, but when she came back around, nobody ever apologized to me, and that mattered, and that sucked. And there comes a time where you have to sit and process things that you once swept under a rug and suppressed. And then there was another time that I told my mom that I was uncomfortable with calling my dad dad. He hadn't been around. We had no relationship. And honestly, he intimidated me. And I remember being around a friend once while I was on the phone with him, and he asked, what are you supposed to be calling me? And I was so stuck because I didn't want to answer the question. And my friend, she had spoke up for me and said, Dad, and he replied, that's right. So I took it to my mom, and I expressed how I felt, hoping that she'd support me. Instead, she said, well, if you could tell your aunt that you didn't like clothes she bought, you can tell him that too. But I couldn't. And that, it just wasn't it was not a fair comparison. And I needed support and not shame. Those moments taught me how to shrink, how to suppress, and how to silence myself. But now I speak loud, clear, and unapologetically. I have built a home with my children where I am teaching my children to do the same. This is a household that prioritizes accountability, where you apologize when you're wrong, where children are heard, not handled, and yet somehow I still find myself fighting so hard to protect my children from people who think that they are above correction. And it's exhausting. It's so exhausting, especially when I am the only person doing it, especially when the person who's supposed to be beside me, co-guardian, chooses comfort over accountability. These aren't just old stories. These are deep, unhealed roots that I've had to face and process as an adult. Wow, in the midst of building something better. I didn't just wake up with boundaries. I fought to create them. I fought to raise my voice when I was taught to silence it. I've worked tirelessly to replace the silence with truth, action, and protection. So no, I am not overreacting, and I'm not being dramatic. I am being the mother that I needed. The one who doesn't let things go just because that's how they are. You are not like that over here. We don't protect dysfunction over here. We protect truth. And in this home, we don't just apologize. We show it, we mean it, and we live it. And this is what healing looks like in real time. It can be so heavy. It is suppressed memories rising to the surface, sometimes triggered by recent events, other times emerging out of nowhere. Either way, it is real. And when they come, you have to face them. You have to feel them. And you have to process everything that they bring with them. And that is so much on top of fighting to protect my children in ways that I never even knew that I was going to have to fight. And I'm doing so much about myself, and it is so overwhelming. And I am so misunderstood and judged and ridiculed constantly. And it's like, I keep telling people that I care. It's never just that I don't care about anything. I care about everything. And it's hard. It's so challenging to keep my head on, to be emotionally balanced, to show up and just be a mom and just be present and just continue to handle things that just, life is not stopping while I'm processing. It's just going, and whatever comes is just coming, and I find a way to get through it. Oh, please don't let the trends and the pretty posts fool you. Healing is not always soft and loving. Sometimes it is messy, heavy, hard, and downright unbearable. But pushing through it, that kind of freedom is one you didn't even know you needed. It's not one that I knew I needed, but it's also not one that I knew I was gonna have to fight and claw so hard for. And it's devastating that people cannot just meet me and meet my children and apologize. It's so difficult to get people to apologize and take accountability. And it's exhausting, and it's so sad, and it's so much. But we are doing things differently here. And it's either going to align or be removed. That is it. That is all. It's not up for debate. Individuals tend not to know how impactful things are, but I know. And I've accepted. And I've chosen to do the work and show up every time. And I'm not going to stop showing up to keep people comfortable that are not ready to heal and not ready to admit fault of their own. It's not my job to coddle grown men or grown women. It is my job to protect my children. And I am going to do that at every extent. And it does not concern me who is uncomfortable or how others feel about it, when it's clearly they are negating how my children feel. Since this is not a concern of some, it's okay. It is my concern.